We've heard it a lot.
Talking about fake news.
Reading a fake news story.
That's the bad news about fake news.
Today we've got a couple things we're going to be doing.
And the journalism students in Dr. Barbara Smith's class at IPFW are taking note.
How do we spot fake news?
Dr. Smith has been teaching journalism for nearly 30 years, but fake news is only a recent addition to her curriculum.
Fall 2016, during the presidential debates, we started incorporating fake news because we were hearing so much of fake news.
Wrong.
That is absolutely
wrong.
Proved over and over again.
Wrong.
The idea of fake news isn't a new one. Just go back to the late 1800s and you can find plenty of examples of propaganda stretching the truth. But what has changed is technology and how so many people get their news from social media like Facebook and Twitter. So journalists and future journalists, let's get the facts straight.
Before we might only have 2 documents and 3 humans. Now we have multiple websites and blogs, Facebook posts, tweets, and so forth that do need to be verified.
But how about you, the news consumer?
We still don't understand very well the interaction between the factors that make us pay more attention to some information than others, or that makes us vulnerable to misinformation.
Dr. Filippo Menser and his team of researchers at Indiana University in Bloomington have been studying how fake news travels through social media.
The first part is like a search engine.
They've spent more than a year developing a computer program called Hoaxy, which collects data 24/7 as it monitors about 100 well-known real and fake news sites.
And this is actually kind of big, so it takes a while.
While we're waiting, a quick lesson on how this all works. Do you see the nodes? Well, they represent Twitter accounts. The lines connecting them represent how a piece of news is spread from one person to the next. Now, the example we're using is the claim that millions of people voted illegally in the last election. It's something President Donald Trump has tweeted cost him the popular vote.
Here you see the number of people who were sharing the fake news versus, and the number of people who were sharing the fact check.
The fake news is shown in blue, the real in orange. The data collected is specific enough that it can show which public accounts tweeted the story, who retweeted it, and whose attention they might be trying to get.
So let's see, both fact checkers and fake news are targeting that node. And so that node is Donald Trump.
It's all helpful information that connects at least some of the dots as to how fake news is spread between us humans.
We believe that it is a problem, and in order to solve it, you have to understand the problem.
Now, there's still plenty of research and data to be collected and analyzed, but Dr. Menser hopes one day it can lead to some solutions on stopping the spread of fake news.
If it helps sometimes to try and figure out, how this piece of fake news became popular, who started it, and who spread it? Well, now you have a tool where you can ask those questions.
We have to keep digging.
Until then, it's a good lesson for us journalists and future journalists to always be searching for the truth.
You are the gatekeeper between news and the general public. You have to be the ones to get it right.
And that goes for the rest of you news consumers too.
We can't just rely on what someone posted or what someone reposted, even if the source has been reliable in the past.